the direction, the logical structure, the structure logic. I don't even know why I call it logical structure. I should have left like this structure logic. Anyway, let me just leave like where I started. So you have a direction, and the next direction after volume, TK volume, is the diamond volume of KSB. That gives the direction. The diamond volume of KSB is one of the secure direction giver. What do I mean by that? Here is the KSB. Here is when Kijun break above SSB. And here is where we have TK. TK is mostly an early entry type of volume, an early direction giver. So you can have early entry like an entry here like this to the upside. But KSB will give you the most secure type of direct, give you the direction first of all, because when Kijun goes above SSB is a direction to the upside. Now it gives you it in a more secure way. Like you should not doubt the direction when you see it most of the time. So, but his entry will be a little bit above here, which will be the first entry of KSB will be a little bit far above. It means that if you have a trend that goes 100% like this on above, the TK entry can give you 50% of the first 5% of the move. You can have it for the first 5% of the move like this. You can have an entry, but KSB can go up to 15%, can make you lose 15% of the move, but it will be more secure than TK, the TK entry in terms of entry if the move is 100% high like this. But it will be more secure than the golden TK entry. So that's why I call it the diamond volume. Because in terms of strength between the gold and diamond, the diamond is more solid than, is more resistant to pressure than the gold. That's why I call it the diamond cost, the diamond volume. So, but there are cases where when you see a KSB like this, Kijun going below SSB, it doesn't give a direction to the downtrend. It is just because normally when Kijun goes below SSB, Tenkan must stay below Kijun to have a confirmed direction to the downside. But in this case, Tenkan was above Kijun. It's the same thing here. It didn't work here too because you had a Kijun going below SSB here, but Tenkan was already above SSB. Normally, if you wanted a downtrend, you should have seen a Tenkan and Kijun, Tenkan below Kijun like this when you see a KSB course. So, but let us take this case for example. This case is one of the cases where you will see a KSB, a Kijun going above SSB like this, and Tenkan is already above Kijun. So it is a more confirmed uptrend than the two previous one, right? Even though you see a little bit later that Tenkan went below Kijun, but it did not. That's just a set of KSB Tenkan, inverted Tenkan. But Kijun did not follow Tenkan to the downside. So if Kijun remain above SSB, it is still an uptrend. Because the first exit of Kijun, Tenkan was above. It's different than this case when the first exit of Kijun, Tenkan was, normally we should have go to the downtrend, but Tenkan stayed above. It means that Tenkan was not okay with Kijun from the start. And Tenkan give the earlier direction, like the instantaneous direction, most of the time. So, but what I try to mean is that when you see a KSB KSB course like this, is one of the most secure trend. If you doubt, there are people who doubt entering at TK course like this to sell, but don't doubt the KSB course. When you see a KSB course, you have a good downtrend, and you can have setups where you enter. I mean, when I say KSB trust, KSB cross, it's not because Kijun has entered inside the cloud like this that I can't sell the KSB trust. The KSB cross is between Kijun and SSB. I don't see SSA in this course. Even this is still KSB course to the downside. It's still valid. The KSB course is still valid. Okay, okay. You will see that each time you have KSB course, the trend is just going to the upside. Even though this one did not work, but most of the time, right? Most of the time is that's the thing. So let us let us go and do the speed check, the diamond speed. You have three big speed in terms of speed. In terms of speed, you have the fresh speed. The fresh speed of KSB is in between. When here is the first course of this is the when KSB is activated. The fresh speeds finish when Kijun pass the line of the choose in the future. So the fresh speed is between the KSB and the choose in the future. That segment of Kijun is fresh in terms of KSB freshness. And then you can have a setup generally at the end of the freshness like this, a setup to buy. And Kijun will stay above the previous cloud. Yeah, like this, right? Kijun is moving above the previous cloud till it passed the twist. So this is the fresh part of the cloud. Then we have a the youngness. The youngness of a KSB is when start from the twist. The youngness of KSB starts from the twist like this here till when you see the first touch of Kijun. Here we see a first touch of Kijun at this level. So all of this segment of Kijun is young, right? You can have setup of entry here and setup of entry here on Tenkan. So that is the youngness. But now we have the adult speed. The adult speed is in between the first Kijun touch here and the start of a Kijun bending down, of an inclination of Kijun bending down. You realize that from the KSB course till now, Kijun is just doing inclination to the upside. But now at a certain point, it will incline down, it will go down, right? So all of this, just before it go down, all of this is an adult Kijun. An adult Kijun, and you can find setup of entry here in between. So from the first touch of Kijun till when Kijun start to bend down. So when Kijun start to bend down, I call it so in between the adult Kijun, you must hold. You should have been in the position since the youngness, since the fresh or the youngness here. You should have been in a position here. And the adult must just come to find you holding the position. This is mostly for holding the position. Because when it's already adult, we are almost close to the reversal of the trend or the correction. So adult is mostly for when you should book some profit or some partial most of the time, or hold the position if you want to keep it continue. But it's not too much for entry. But you can find some short entry if you want to find some short entry. So now the last one is the old KSB speed. The old KSB speed start where Kijun start to bend down like this to the downside. That's the first element of the old. And also when Kijun is inside the cloud, it's also another old condition. And also When Tenkan goes below Kijun, it's also an old condition. All right. So between this part, you will see that this is a correction. It can also be a reversal. This is a correction. But in this correction, when it is old, it doesn't mean that you can find no setup inside that you must leave. No. You can instead take this reversal, take a reversal entry, or at the end of the reversal, when you start seeing Tenkan going bending up, you enter again for the continuity of the uptrend, because this is a correction. Old means that you have a correction. So you know that the correction has ended when you see Tenkan bending to the upside. Like Tenkan was going down like this. But when you start Tenkan bending to the upside like this, you can start buying this inside the old KSB. Old doesn't mean that you cannot enter. It means that you have a better entry, a deeper entry, a cheaper entry, where you buy the is it the deep? I don't know. I don't know something about the deep. I confuse those words in English. So sometimes. So that's it. That's it for the KSB speed. So let us do the live market analysis of KSB. What do you see here? What do we see? Which type of KSB are we in now? So we had the KSB that started here, and then the twist in the future was this one. So all of this is the fresh KSB speed. From here, from the twist till the first touch of Kijun is the young KSB speed. Now, from the first touch of Kijun till when we see an inverse Kijun bending to the upside now, it is the adult speed of Kijun, of KSB, right? Of KSB. But the old started even since the old Kijun started because Tenkan now start to go up on the other side of Kijun to the upside. And now Kijun is inside the cloud. So we are old. That's an old Kijun. That will give you a reversal. Surely you can start buying a reversal here, of course. And we have also an inclination to the upside of Kijun. So that's an old Kijun. So that's an old Kijun. KSB, when I say old Kijun, an old KSB. KSB. Okay. So let us do the example for this one. Live example, live checking. So this one was the first KSB course, and then this was the twist. So in between here, it is the fresh KSB, right? From here to even here like this, normally is the young. And normally from this point, we are in an adult Kijun. So, but something happened here. Tenkan cross below Kijun. Normally it's an old, but since for me it is too early to call it old, I will not call it old. I prefer to call it this part adult. Not young, because young, we already touched Kijun one time here, or even two times here. So I prefer to call it an adult Kijun or a fresh young. But let us call it an adult for the sake of, because the example that I gave you was the general example. Let us call it this one an adult Kijun that started. Okay, let us take this one on the gold. On the gold now, we have what? We had here a KSB, right? And a twist here. So in between these two, it is the fresh KSB. But now from the twist to the first Kijun touch, it is what? The young KSB. From the young to now, it is the place where Kijun enter in the cloud. It is the adult KSB. But now we are in the old KSB. For which reason? For the one reason that KSB is inside the cloud. That's the one reason that I see now. And when Kijun is inside the cloud, not KSB inside the cloud. Now when Kijun is inside the cloud, the candle start to bend down. That's what we are seeing now. And we can have a better entry in between. We enter in setups For the freshness, you could have entered here. For the young, you could have entered here for a small something. For the adult, you could have entered here for a small something. But normally, since we have this Tenkan going below Kijun, it should have been old from this point of view, right? It should have been old from this point of view. But I'll just speak from my point of view, like what's adult. Okay. Let us take this last Bitcoin example. Okay, we have just the KSB crossing now. That's normally the fresh KSB. Since we touch Kijun again, normally it is also young from this point, but it's too close. I'll keep calling it fresh rather than calling it young. And because Tenkan is also going on the other side of Kijun, normally it's old, but let us say that right. For this example, I'll call it young. It's too early to call it old, right? Not young. So yes, young. Let us call it young than fresh. Let us call it young. And this is the best example to the best entry to sell KSB at this setup. So I'm done. Your exercise is to duplicate this Google Sheet, obviously, and then identify if each speed of KSB. Make a screenshot and then give the reason why you call one fresh or one not fresh. So one fresh, one KSB young adult as I did, and send your answer in the group. But I want to make you a point here. There is a point that I want to make. This KSB is best taken on 15 minutes. Sometimes, let us look at this, for example, in this 15 minutes. You see what is happening now, right? You have a buy TK here, like you have a TK cross. That is an early entry that somebody could have buy here. But if you are not sure about this, you can wait KSB Kijun crossing above above Kijun crossing above SSB to have a KSB direction, a secure direction, and then wait for a setup a little bit above here. That's what happened here too. This is the TK cross. You can wait here for a secure direction and then buy here than buying somewhere here. If you think that this may be a correction, you can be waiting. KSB, the first entry of KSB. It works a little bit good well on 15 minutes. 15 minutes is good for KSB. That's what I try to tell you. This one was an entry of TK, but the KSB entry was here below. And it would have been a good entry too. Because sometimes KSB in 15 minutes will give you this. Look at this KSB. If you have wait a KSB here, you have not worked. You have entered here, but you have hit a stop loss. If you misread the top-down analysis direction. So not all KSB give you a good entry, a good confirm the direction to the upside. No, not all KSB. That's what you need to put in mind. But when you are sure origin of a direction, right, higher time frame, and you want to wait, or you want to take a second entry, you can wait a KSB and enter here to the downside. Okay, and it works a little bit well on 15 minutes. So with that said, post your screenshot in a Go and make some reasoning and tell us why you think this is a fresh. Take many pairs, many different pairs for live market. I don't like too much history market. That's why I always do live market, because we want to be trader who earn money. But for the moment, we are analysts. Let's just analysis. As you see, Ishimoku Vegeta analysis. So, but when you analyze also the live market to be sure what you are doing. Okay. So with that said, let us stay positive. Don't judge, don't criticize, just uplift each other.